Shopping! And thanks for shopping at Omega Mart.
That can't be a real person. That can't be a real. No, that's not a real person. Yo, it's a real life NPC.
Hey, Dad, look at Carly.
Get up here, Carly!
The fuck is that in the woods? Hello? Hello?
Guys, oh my god. That's literally a troll. Look, he's moving.
A jinn is basically a form of demon that has been known to possess animals or humans. What's terrifying is that you could see that the water sounded and looked like it actually hit something before falling to the ground. So even though we couldn't see it, we could hear it, and you could see that the water physically hit it.
Amanda?
That's so fun at that jump.
Flash is on. Alright, let's take a look.
What do you think's in there?
I don't know. I guess nothing.
Hello. She wants to come in, Hassan.
Oh, he's so cute! Why is man chilling like that so close?
He knows there's food coming.
Hello! Why is he so cute? Hello! Do you have any friends out in the wild?
Lucy? Who are you saying hi to? Who are you saying hi to? Dude, you need to stop that. You're freaking me out. Come on.
So, my daughter's sleeping with me in my bed tonight. She kept saying that she was really scared of something in her room. I'm a little bit shaky. I don't know if you guys can tell, but... It's always terrified me since. Because I would ask it questions and it would answer.
I hit you like I'm young. Yeah, they try to rig the game, but you can't fake influence.
You don't care how people feel about the ritual. It's about just following the ritual work. You can fool yourself into thinking there isn't one, but the evidence will be clear.
About 40 acres in the mule, this is bigger than the music. About 40 acres in the mule, this is bigger than the music. The revolution about to be televised. You picked the right time, but the wrong. Probably A minor. I want to perform their favorite song.
Because you need to understand there's a world of difference between the United States and America as a country. In 1878 to be exact, there was a privately owned corporation incorporated called United States Corporation. And it was stipulated in the corporation papers that anyone who would work for that particular corporation would be called a citizen, not an employee. It's a privately owned corporation. It was referred to as United States. So today, if you're conducting business in this country and someone asks you if you're a citizen of the United States, and you say yes, because you perceive the question is, are you lawfully in this country to do business? And you say yes. They didn't ask you if you were a citizen of America. They didn't ask you if you were lawfully in America. According to international maritime admiralty law, they ask you a question. Are you, of your own volition, out of your own mouth, testifying that you are a citizen of the United States? The United States is a privately owned corporation. It's a privately owned company. And if you say, yes, I am a United States citizen, now that makes you an employee of a privately owned foreign corporation.
The truth is hidden in plain sight, and this is how they hide everything. If you are looking for the knowledge that has been hidden from us, if you want to know the meaning behind these symbols, if you want to know who controls the world, this ebook will literally unveil that to you, and ye shall know the truth, and truth shall set you free.
Can you please explain to me in detail the event that occurred at Vandenberg Air Force Base?
Certainly.
I've been waiting for this for seems like my whole life, and I literally fell out of my chair.
They observed a very large red square, estimated to be almost the size of a football field, approach the base from the ocean and hover at low altitude over one of the launch facilities.
The radio transmissions start to pour in.
As it became closer and closer to our position, it stopped and hovered right over the coastline. There's no propulsion systems, no lights, no audible sounds, and it just hovered there.
And then just all hell broke loose.
There was a lot of chaos.
These are people I'd spent years with, and they're not people that are easily frightened or intimidated. And they were terrified, and they were screaming for help over the net.
This object remained for about 45 seconds or so before darting off over the mountains.
It just shot away up the coastline. It seemed like 1,000,000 miles an hour, like it was shot out of a cannon, and then it was gone. I mean, personally, I can't explain it. I've never seen anything like it in my life. The way it hovered, to make no sound, to have no propulsion system. Our air
They evidently, and you know, he swore us to secrecy about what it was, but evidently there was communication with the beings when he was there.
And
now,
so these beings just tiny, look like people. Did they have different features than us? Or was it just human
They are
features?
just like the ones at Trinity and like the ones at Socorro. So in that book you have actually 2, 2, and 3, you have 7 creatures that are humanoid, that breathe our air, that seem to understand us, you know, the visual, you know, there's visual contact.
מה שאני לא מבין, זה כל הגויים הם איך קוראים?
שנייה, אדוני.
בהמות?
אני אגיד לך משהו?
אם אין להם ציווי.
אדם, שנייה, אדם זה על שם הדמה לעליון. אדם זה כביכול הדמה לאלוקים. אוקיי? זה פירוש אדם. אנחנו הפכנו את זה, זאת אומרת העם הפך את זה, לאדם בן אדם, כמו אתה בן אדם, אתה צריך להתנהג כמו בן אדם. אבל בעיקרון זה על שם עליון. אדם זה הדמה לעליון, וכיוון שאנחנו פנים של אלוקים, אז הוא קרא לנו בני אדם. עכשיו, הגויים השם, כן? אלוקים עשה אותם בשביל שיעשו פה...
בשביל לשרת את היהודים. כל הגויים שאתה רואה שיש בעולם, המיליארדים האלה, הם הכל רק בשביל שהיהודים יהיה להם איזה תועלת.
עכשיו,
אנחנו לא רואים את זה, אנחנו לא יודעים בדיוק.
כן, היות ואנחנו בגלות, אז אוטומטי עדיין הם עוד לא משרתים אותנו לגמרי, רק חלקית.
כל אחד כשמשיח יבוא, אז כל אחד יהיה לו... אלפים עבדים, 2,800 עבדים.
בינתיים, המשיח לא כאן, אז איך הם משרתים אותנו?
הם בונים לנו רכבים, דירות, בניינים, הם בונים את זה. למה? משרתים את זה.
One of the most haunting Simpsons predictions relates to the devastating wildfires that plague California. In the season 13 episode Weekend at Burnsies, Springfield is engulfed in a massive blaze, with scenes that look strikingly similar to the catastrophic wildfires that have swept through the LA region. By 2025, the situation has only worsened. Drought conditions, fueled by climate change, have intensified, creating a tinderbox environment where fires spread rapidly.
Hey guys, so I'm in the store looking and I see this Monopoly board game. And I know I am not the only one that remembers him with a monocle. What are the gaslighting is real? Because I cannot be the only person that remembers him with a monocle. Guys, if you remember the monocle or if you don't, please chime in the comments below. What is going on?
The year 2000 was going to be very special for a multitude of reasons. We were entering into a new millennium, a new era, a year that only existed in science fiction stories. This was by no means a conventional new year. It was finally the future. But maybe not the future everyone was anticipating. Millions of people around the world spent their last moments in the 1900s staring at the clock, but not for the reason that you might think. Instead of celebrating, they were terrified, because as soon as the clock struck midnight, the world was going to end, and within the blink of an eye, the year 2000 would instead be a future now past.
Heightening in 1999, people began to get increasingly concerned over Y2K. Y2K was the fear that critical industries and government functions would stop working at exactly midnight on January 1st, 2000. Many people anticipated a food shortage by stockpiling supplies, while others predicted an all-out apocalypse. $300 billion was spent in preparation, and while it is unknown whether that money was the reason, Y2K caused no significant problems as the world turned to 2000.
Look at the eyes. Very pretty.
So my husband and I witnessed something strange last night that we just can't explain. We were walking our dogs in the RV park. We were staying in Galveston, Texas. We're on our way home back to Alabama today. And all of a sudden in the corner of my eye, I saw a bright light. So I happened to look up and there was this bright light, and right before the bright light was a full ring of smoke. And I grabbed my husband and I said, "What is that?" And we're both looking at it. And I can't even explain it. It was not an airplane. The sky was clear, so you could see stars in the sky. But for some reason, this white light, looked blurry. It looked like it was hidden by clouds. I'm going to show you the video. I wish I would have got the part when it first came up. Like, it literally was just all of a sudden a bright light with a ring in front, and then it seemingly disappeared. It was the strangest thing we ever saw. And I know damn well it wasn't a plane, because there was planes in the area that were a lot higher, and you could obviously tell that it was a plane. So somebody explain what this thing is that I'm going to show you.
I see stars, so when it gets over here, it should be clear to see.
Well,
if you can't, then...
I don't know. A ring came up right before that thing
like
that's in the sky. Yeah. It's like a strange smoke ring. But I can see stars right there. And that one looks like it's behind clouds, but there's no clouds.
That's what I'm saying. We can see these stars, so when it comes over here, we should be able to see it clearly. If we can't, then that's even more bizarre.
Yeah, because...
Well, there's a star behind it.
Right, that's what I'm saying. There's stars all around it that I can see, so why can't I see that?
I don't know what that is.
And now it's just...
Is it getting dimmer?
It is. It's like it went away.
It's like it's taking a cloud with it. It's really weird because you can see the stars. Can you see the other stars?
Yes, I can see all the stars in here. Like, it's a clear sky except for where that thing is moving, and a ring came right before it, and now it's gone.
I don't know what the hell that...
The Red Hot Chili Peppers were trying to wake us up in the 90s.
This is Californication.
In 2025, Earth experiences a year that changes everything, a series of events so strange and unprecedented that no one is prepared. It starts quietly in January. News outlets report minor earthquakes in regions where they've never occurred. By February, skies above Springfield and across the globe begin to glow faintly green at night. At first, it's dismissed as an unusual display of the northern lights, but the glow extends far beyond the poles, sparking curiosity and unease. Marge notices something peculiar in her garden. Her vegetables are growing at twice their normal size, yet their taste is strangely metallic. Reports flood in from around the world. Crops are ripening unnaturally fast, animals are behaving erratically, and cities are facing sudden, violent storms. The oceans swell with unpredictable tides, flooding coastal areas. By March, scientists deliver a startling explanation. Earth's magnetic field is shifting at an unprecedented rate. What should have taken a millennium is now happening in months. Professor Frink gathers the town and explains the gravity of the situation. This magnetic anomaly isn't just affecting compasses, it's disrupting satellites, power grids, and even migratory patterns of birds and fish. The very fabric of modern life, navigation, communication, and technology is under threat. As the months pass, the magnetic chaos accelerates. By October, planes are grounded due to navigation failures, and internet disruptions become commonplace. Springfield and the rest of the world are on edge. People panic buy supplies, fearing the worst. In December, the skies transform into a breathtaking yet ominous display. Daytime auroras bathe the world in vivid, shimmering lights. But this beauty comes at a cost. Electronics everywhere shut down. Phones, computers, cars, and even basic appliances go dark. The modern world grinds to a halt, throwing humanity back into a pre-digital age. So what do you think? If Earth faced a year like this, would it be an opportunity to reset and rebuild, or would it push humanity to the brink? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below.
I do not live in LA. I do not own a car. I definitely didn't bring a car to LA because I don't own a car.
Either way, would you mind just swinging by the front for me?
Why would I do that?
Just right now I have an emergency with the vehicle, and I need to be sure that it's not attached to your room if you're not the person who has the vehicle.
I do not have a car. Why would I go downstairs to confirm that I don't have a car?
Get away from my door!
If they know you in a hotel with the door locked, why do they want to purposely come in, unlock the door, knowing that they're going to have to fight you off or anything like that? What?
If the only other thing I can think to do is come up and speak to you directly, which is what I just tried to do.
What is speaking to me going to do? No matter what you say to me, I still don't own a car.
When you do get a chance, whether it's to come down for breakfast or anything, if you could just swing by the front, I would really appreciate that.
You're gonna need to tell me in words what you want from me, because right now it just feels like you're trying to have with me, and I'm extremely uncomfortable and do not feel safe in this hotel.
But right now I do have an emergency with the vehicle, and I'm just trying to get it sorted.
Can you tell me what the emergency is?
If it's not your car, then I don't think you need to worry about it.
Oh, what a change of tune.
Tonight, the Middle East stands at a pivot point. The administration says Operation Midnight Hammer severely damaged or destroyed Iran's largest nuclear sites. In response, Iran says the time for diplomacy is over and hints at military retaliation against the United States, even as more missiles from Iran strike Tel Aviv. Our coverage tonight begins with Foreign Affairs and Defense correspondent Nick Schifrin.
The U.S.'s unprecedented direct attack on Iran began under the cover of darkness. A dozen B-2 bombers flew 30 hours with multiple mid-air refueling, all under strict operational security, including a decoy. The bombers launched from Whiteman Air Force Base Friday night at midnight, flying east. At the same time, B-2s also launched west, tracked on social media. But that was deliberate deception to allow the main bombers to fly to Iran undetected and, alongside dozens of fighter jets, target Iran's key nuclear enrichment sites at Natanz and Fordo, where thousands of advanced centrifuges spin hundreds of feet underground. For the first time in combat, the U.S. dropped 14 30,000-pound massive ordnance penetrators designed to dig deep before exploding. This satellite image shows at least half a dozen precise impact sites at Fordo, where bombs landed before exploding deep underground. A third target, Esfahan, believed to hold Iran's enriched uranium stockpile, targeted by submarine-launched Tomahawk missiles.
This operation was designed to severely degrade Iran's nuclear weapons infrastructure. Initial battle damage assessments indicate that all three sites sustained extremely severe damage and destruction.
At the Pentagon today, Chairman of the Joint Chiefs, General Dan Kane, and Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth called the mission limited and designed to convince Iran to negotiate.
This mission was not and has not been about regime change. As the president has directed and made clear, this is most certainly not open-ended. There are both public and private messages being directly delivered to the Iranians in multiple channels, giving them every opportunity to come to the table.
But Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi today said Iran had no intention to sit down.
Of course, the door for diplomacy should be always keep open, but this is not the case right now. My country has been under attack, under aggression, and we have to respond.
This morning, Tel Aviv absorbed the brunt of Iran's response. Iranian ballistic missiles tore through these apartments. Nobody died, but dozens were wounded. Iran could escalate further against Israel or target U.S. bases across the region where some 40,000 troops are on high alert. In the past, Iran has tried to choke off global oil supplies, actions that would bring further U.S. military strikes. Secretary of State Marco Rubio warned today.
There are no planned military operations right now against Iran unless they mess around and they attack American or American interests. Then they're going to have a problem.
And Iran remains extremely vulnerable if the U.S. were to decide to launch more attacks. The U.S. military today said that despite sending dozens of B-2 bombers and fighter jets into Iran, there was no evidence Iran fired a single shot at any of those planes, John.
Nick, is there any assessment yet about how far this has set the Iran nuclear program back?
Last night, we heard from President Trump that the sites were, quote, totally obliterated. You heard a more calibrated description today in our piece from the chairman of the Joint Chiefs, Dan Kane, saying that there was, quote, severe damage. Military officials tell me simply it's too early to have a proper battle damage assessment. But we do know one thing. Vice President Vance said today something interesting. He acknowledged the U.S. did not target Iran's highly enriched uranium stockpile. That is held, at least partially, in Isfahan. You see some file video from Isfahan right there. That's essentially the fuel that Iran could use to build a bomb if it decided to do so. Experts told me the Tomahawks that struck that facility were not capable of actually getting underground enough to destroy that stockpile underneath. So we know for sure at least part of the stockpile survives. Some experts believe, John, that this will convince Iran that once and for all, it does need to go after weaponization of a nuclear for a nuclear bomb. But today, Rubio said if Iran made that decision, regime change would be back on the table.
Nick Schifrin, thank you very much.
Thank you.
The Triangle holds some of the world's deepest waters, with the Gulf of Alaska reaching down to depths of an incredible 26,000 feet. Could this be a perfect hiding place for a secret underwater alien base?
There's definitely underwater UFO activity that's been reported over the last 4 decades. These UFOs have been tracked underwater and stayed underwater for a long time, evaded the Navy, and they go so deep that we don't know where they're going. I am very convinced that there's some kind of base underwater.
UFO researcher Johnny Enoch has been looking at the evidence.
According to my sources, there are extraterrestrial bases under the water off the coast of Alaska. Alaska's the perfect place for extraterrestrials to set up underwater bases. I mean, you have 33,000 miles of untapped coast and over 3 million lakes. I mean, where better a place to set up shop?
I've been researching through, and there's a number of reports I find of discs coming out of the ocean near Alaska. This particular report happened all the way back in the summer of 1945.
An Army transporter ship, U.S. Delaroff, was heading past Adak, one of the Aleutian Islands, in the southwest corner of Alaska. Suddenly, one of the crew was said to have spotted ripples in the water just a mile from their vessel.
In this report from one of the crew members, he stated that he turned and saw a large round object which just emerged from the sea.
They witnessed
Is this more evidence of aliens, or is it holograms and Project Bluebeam? They thought they were cloaked.
That looks an awful lot like a spaceship and little tiny aliens running around it. I don't know, folks, do you believe in aliens? Let me know in the comments below what you think. Yeah.
Look. Y'all thought I was playing. I know y'all see those lights. Look at them. Not the little ones because my little mirror thing scratched up. I know you see those right there, floating. Oh my, bruh, this every day out here, or every night. But still, look at that.